We're going to start with a heaping tablespoon of cream cheese. Doesn't sound like much, but it's going to give us just the right amount of flavor, and it's also going to give us the fat that we need. We've got half a cup of fresh blueberries that my kids and I picked. Check out vermilionlane.com, and you can actually see a blog post where my kids and I were picking these blueberries at a farm not too far away. 1 teaspoon of really good vanilla. And we're going to give this a quick blend actually before we move on. Just pulse it a couple of times to break down your blueberries. So you might be wondering, why do I want to break down blueberries? I love blueberries. I don't want them to be broken down. But believe me, your kids are going to eat them and the texture is going to be so lovely with them broken down. And don't forget, we're going to sprinkle nice fresh ones on top. So now goes in our egg. Extra large, I prefer for this particular recipe. 1/3 cup of 2% milk. Things aren't so pretty now, but it'll be looking really good later. Pulse again a few times. So now in goes 1½ cups of sugar. I've already got 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to take 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Skip that kind with aluminum in it. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And that all gets popped into my sieve here. And I'm going to sift this away just until that baking powder in particular is combined nicely. Now I'm going to add this about 1/2 cup at a time into my wet batter. A quick pulse each time. That is blended so beautifully. I'm going to scrape down the sides. Another quick pulse and we are good to rizzo. You're not going to believe how beautifully light this dough is and how moist. So delicious. So I'm going to use a pastry bag, or at least my version of a pastry bag. I'm going to take just an easy little bag, a little zip top bag, cut off a corner. Then I'm going to take my trusty ice cream scoop. And I'm hoping, at least my goal is, that each of these will be in and around the same size by way of using my ice cream scoop to measure. I'm going to put 3 scoops in there. That should give me just about 3 donuts. I'm going to give my pan a quick spray. Then I'm going to go in with my makeshift pastry bag and go around just 2 times lightly to make sure it's totally full. We're going to bake these for about 15 minutes, but keep in mind they're just like cake. As soon as that toothpick comes out clean after inserting it into the middle of your donut, then you know it's done. So I'm going to beat my cream cheese just a bit, just to make it easier to stir in my confectioner's sugar. Just 1/2 cup. Again, we'll beat that. Now you need to use a really good vanilla here because you're not baking it at all. And you just want to make sure that the flavor is really nice and clean and as fresh as possible. Because this is so super duper sweet, just for a little earthiness, I'm going to give myself just the tiniest bit of cinnamon. We don't want to go overboard. So we're really at 1/8 teaspoon of really, really good Saigon cinnamon, my favorite cinnamon flavor. It's got a little heat in it. more earthiness, I guess is a better way to describe it. And it's going to balance for us this, you know, really sweet sugar. And give a little color to our glaze as well. That beautiful speckled brown. So now for the fun part. Time to get that gorgeous drizzle going. So I just typically just lay down a few paper towels. And then I just put my donuts on top. And that way, all my drizzle goes down to the bottom. Another way that you can do this is actually to put a sheet pan underneath. And that way you can, you know, kind of keep everything that's left over after you put your glaze on top. And you can simply dip donut holes in that if you decide to make, you know, an extra batch. Thanks for joining me on Vermilion Lane today. Don't forget to check out this recipe as well as many others and lots of fashion, crafts, family talk, and so much more on my blog for lots of great posts that I hope you'll enjoy, as well as directions to make these delicious donuts. It's so super duper easy and I really hope that you like it. Also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, as well as Twitter. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.